Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel, whichever one it may be. And if you are new here, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, do all those wonderful things, and yeah, just let me know what you think. Anyway, today I thought I would work on this canvas here. It's probably be a fairly short video. But anyway, we're going to work on this canvas here. I'm working on this for 2 events this month through the Diamond Paint with Friends because I tend to just do events with them. It's easier, especially when you're working, because you know how crazy it gets when you're working. Anyway, I thought I would do a little bit with this. This is Seashell Kitten. And so I've been having a little fun with this canvas, and I purchased this die here. Actually, I purchased a whole set of die, but or dice. I purchased a whole set of dice. These are D&D dice, and anyway, this is a 20 sided, so there is 20 numbers on here, and I've been, just rolling it to figure out which section of this canvas I'm going to work on next. Currently, we're going to work on number 17. It is really interesting how this has progressed. So this section and this section I did before I started rolling this. So now the canvas kind of looks a little wonky because I had to adjust for the sections. So like this section is bigger than this section, and this section turned out tiny. But it is what it is. So that is the top of the canvas. Now we will, whoops, let that roll along on the floor. Don't need it anymore anyway. Not at the moment, because I'm going to work on section 17. I guess we'll just go this way. So we have the middle of the canvas here starting to show up. And then section 17 is over here. Fix this canvas, and then we've got the other canvas underneath. Don't mind that. Don't look at that. It's my dragon canvas that I'm doing for the dragon event. There's 17. It really is just interesting on how this is working out. Okay, so I'm going to, looks like 7 is already kind of set up the where I want it to be. So we'll just go ahead and do 10 as well. And then we also have 9 here. So I'm going to just try to get an idea of how big I want this section to be. This isn't a great section for what I want to do this video on, but anyway, there's 17. And there's 17 section. So today we're going to talk about multi-placing. We'll look at some of our tools we're going to use. So this is a tray, obviously. I print this in my shop. It is still TruVampire art over on Etsy. It's linked down in the description. I'll make sure that link works. This is a new color. This is called Witchcraft. So you can kind of see it has a shimmer to it. Just does like a little bit of a shift as well. Mostly it's just a purple shimmer. And it has like a bluish shimmer. So it's really pretty. It is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I am going to be adding to my shop this cute little teapot. Look at this thing. Isn't this adorable? This little teapot. Anyway, it'll be a trash drill, a cover minder, if I can figure out the magnets for the bottom. But I already have a full tea set that I'm going to do for a trash drill cover minders. And this is actually printed in the purple to pink, or heat purple to pink color. So if you get this warm, see if we can do this, like hold it a little bit. I have a slightly better example, but there we go. So, as you're working or something, and maybe you're holding this in your hand because you like to fiddle with things. This is also a great little fidget because it's a little cap, so you could, fiddle with it as you're working. So like in your other hand, you know, just kind of fiddling with it, playing with it. And in the heat, pink to purple, it would slowly start to turn pink, or sorry, purple to pink. It would slowly start to turn pink. I am also adding a couple of dragon egg cover minders as well, and these are also trash drills. But you could probably store something else. Let's say you have a lot of those pink waxes. You could probably store them in here too, and then just have a wax ready to go. I did that once with some pink waxes. It is also a lock in place. So you lock it in place and now it won't come off. So it does do that. We also have this other little dragon egg. This one is also in the purple to pink heat color. And so this is kind of the same thing. You could kind of do the same thing. This one actually has a, when you get it right, twist on. So it twists on, twist off, lock in place as well, the dragon eggs. And then we're also going to have a pen. So I'll show the pen now because this has a 7-placer on it. And since we're going to talk about multi-placing, this is a good example use. So we have our single placer on one side, and then I have a multi-placing 7-placer on the other side of this one. So we'll use this pen as well, but this is going to be the dragon pen. Can you see the dragon? He's circled around the pen. I thought this pen was so cool looking with this design on it. Very, very cool. And then we also have our dragon. He's circling around the pen. He's doing that never-ending pose where they kind of basically are eating their own tail, but it's supposed to be like never ending. So that's that. We're going to use this tray. I don't use that, so put that aside. This tray, we have a 7-placer. We have a 5-placer metal tip here. You got our single placer on the other side of this. And we have a 4-placer here. So this is what I originally started with when I started multi-placing, was a 4-placer. And then I slowly graduated up to we can get rid of these items now. I still gotta put the teapot in the shop, but the pen and the dragon items are up in the shop. Now you can check them out. There will be more dragon items because she's going to be hosting a yearly event from now on. So I am going to make a whole line of dragon items for her event. What am I thinking here? Okay, so we also have some other tips here. We have, this is not the one I'm looking for. Here we go. So here is a 9-placer. I have yet to use that big of a placer. 7 is as far as I've gotten. But I think like as soon as you start doing larger placers anyway, it will get easier. Here is a 3. As you can see, it's just slightly smaller. These were TikTok shop tips. So I have my pen here. This is the one I have been using, but we can use the others as well. Let's go ahead and put something in this. Do I have a putty here? I like to use putty. There we go. Because, all right, hold on. All right, I like to use putty. We're going to be using this one. This is from Randa's Crafty Corner. I haven't ordered from her in a while. I always liked her putty the best. I was making a putty. I haven't made it in a while because I just haven't had the time. I mean, I've probably had the time. I just haven't had the energy to make it. All right, and I like to use putty. And I used to use a wax in my single placer and a putty just in the multi-placer. What does it smell like? fall house. It kind of smells like a candle, like an old candle that's been sitting out for a while. It is old though, so we'll go with that. It is old. All right, so we are going to find a color here to work with. Let's see what we have. Looks like we want to do a big color so we can, like, we could start here with this one. That is a pixie dust. I don't really want to start with that because we just put putty in this. This is fairly fresh putty in this as well, and this one's old, so I guess we could start with that. All right, we will start with that then. This color down here, which is this color, it's pixie dust. I can't say much for the pixie dust on this canvas. Like, I almost wish this, you know, I'm fine with the white being a pixie dust, but I almost wish the other colors were ABs instead of all right, so this one has the older putty instead of pixie dust, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, and so we are going to work on this color. Let's get this a little bit more in the center of our frame. And so originally, like I said, I started with a 4-placer. So with a multi-placer, you're just picking up multiple drills at the same time. So you really want to make sure that your drills line up beautifully in your tray. So like that. And then this one is a 7, so we can pick up 7 drills at one time and put them on the canvas all at once. So it's really kind of easy, but at the same time, it is not easy. You really have to kind of like line that first drill up and make sure that your line flows through from one to the next. And there we go. So we're just moving along this row, putting down 7 at the one time, and we come to the end. There's only one. You can technically stay with your multi-placer and just pick up one drill and put it down if you want to, or you can switch to your single placer and place your single drills. This is really old putty, so it's not that sticky, but you can do that. So that is a 7. The 4 is the same way. You're gonna pick up 4. I like these thinner multi-placers because your drills, they really kind of sit beautifully. Let's see if we can get this all right in there. So we have 4 drills on there. Can we get you to show the drills? Let's see if I can touch there. There we go. Okay. So you can, sorry for that jump there. You can see those 4 drills lined up on there, and then also if you kind of look to the side, you can kind of see them off the side. Now with the bigger, so we'll throw that. I have a larger multi-placer here, so we're going to take this one off. This is just a screw-on tip. I think I got this pen off of Amazon, and it came with the multi-placers that it came with, and I just was like, no, I don't like that. I just don't like that. All right, this is not it. This one is also not it. Should mark these so I know which one it is. There it is. Okay. So we can compare these and see the difference now of these multi-placers. This one is a 9. So you can pick up 9 drills. All right, so you can see the difference here in these two. One, you can see the size difference. One's a 5. One says it's a, no, it's a 6. Never mind. One's a 5, one's a 6. Okay. And then if you look at this end, can you see how much thinner this purple tip is compared to the gold one? Can you see that? And now pick up some drills in it. So they work. While they work, they're okay. It's just, if you look at the side of the drills, you can pick up on the 4-placer again. I don't know if you can see how much more drill is overhanging on the 4-placer than on the 6-placer. So that's just why I don't care for them, is because when you're using them, it gets a little hard to see the actual drills. But that's just the only reason I don't like them. They do work. You can see it is working, and they work just fine. The 1-placer is a little bit more of a chunky thing on it, so, but I do like these purple ones. I am loving the purple tips, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch that back out. All right, that is, put you off to the side. Oh, there we go. Now I put you off to the side. Okay. Is there really a technique? I mean, maybe. Maybe there's a technique to it. Maybe there's not a technique to it. It's just, you know, when you're single placing, you're just placing one drill at a time. And it's, you know, like, it's fairly easy. Lining up your drills, because I know, like, people who single place, they don't tend to do that. Shake through and line up your drills. So lining up your drills helps with single placing as well, because now you can just pull from the line. I don't know if you can see that line. Pull it out a little more. There you go. You can just pull from the line and single place down the line, and then just move on to your next line and do the same as you, whoop, didn't get that, as you're single placing. And then like I said, I started with the 4-placer because it was easier to get that line up. So when I stuck this down in the tray, it was easier to get that line up, and it was easier for me to work on the actual canvas in laying out the drills. And then I decided it was time for me to push myself to use a bigger tip. So I moved up to the 7 because a lot of canvases come with a 4 and a 7. So I jumped right to the 7. And I don't know if you can see, like, we can move right on in, get a little closer to that there. See how easily those are lining up? Wouldn't say it's entirely perfect, but like how easily those are lining up and how beautiful they look. Because some people, they want that perfection. They want that actual lineup of the drills, making a nice, smooth, even line from one to the next. And you can see how well this pen is working. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. It is not that uncomfortable on the hands. It's light. It is very light compared to these other ones that I'm using. This one here has the metal tips, so it has a little bit extra heft to it because it has the metal tips. It's a little bit extra hefty on the line, so let's go ahead and move this down, and you can just watch those drills just pop right on the canvas. But I would say the easiest thing is, as far as multi-placing, one, pushing yourself to do it if you're scared. If you don't want to multi-place, perfectly fine. If multi-placing is something that you want to do, then pushing yourself to actually do it. But also, when you're going to put it down on the canvas, you're going to line that first drill up with your first dot and then just place it down, and you get that nice even row. Why you're not being in trouble. We'll go back to the 4. I think I need to refresh that. I just refreshed it though. I think it's the putty I'm using. I'm not a fan of the putty, but I'm trying to work through stuff that I have. So I am doing that. I'm just gonna do these singles here real quick. They're off the video, but anyway. Sometimes when I'm working a section, I will go through and work all of the single placing ones first, or all of the multi-placing ones. But the other thing you can do is if you have a particularly large section, this isn't a very large section of color blocking. This isn't a very big section for confetti either, but it's got, you know, a good decent amount of blocked colors in here, so that's why this has been a good one to work on. Not like the dragon canvas I have underneath, which you can't see right now. But you can also take and just start going down the line. I just realized that. Okay. And so if you have like a big section and you want to, you're not a fan of color blocking, and you want to move through that section fast, multi-placing is definitely going to do it for you, because you can just, I hope this is showing up. It is. Okay. Just move through that section really quick. Oh, look at that. I'm already almost done with this color in this section. But yeah, multi-placing is really great for that. If you've never thought of multi-placing, if you're not trying to rush through your canvas, I know a lot of us do this as a relaxation technique. So, you know, like we're not trying, and like I said, you can do single placing with this as well. We'll switch to that. You can single place, you can multi-place, you can do up to 4 drills on it, like that. Put those 4 drills down, or you can do 2 and put just 2 down. And you can do 1, and you can do 3. Sometimes if you set it up just right on the drills, see if I get it. I didn't get it. But you can get 5 with a 4-placer, 7 with a 6. You know, you can do that. What was I talking about anyway? Single placing, multi-placing. So if you've never tried multi-placing, but you have these large canvases, because we all know Diamond Art Club has large canvases. This one right here is not that large. We're going to zoom out a little bit so we can see more of this section. There we go. And straighten up our drills again. It's really easy. Like I said, I print these trays at my shop, and I have not had any issues with lining up drills in them. I use them all the time. I picked them because I liked them anyway, and I do use my trays all of the time. I have 3 trays sitting right here. Like, look at this. I have 3 trays just sitting. This is the large, and these 2 are the medium. This is the no washi style. This is just regular. It works perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it. Pushing my trays there a little. Okay, so anyway, multi-placing is a handy use on these larger canvases that you don't want to take an entire year to work on, especially since a lot of us have large stashes of canvases. You might have 100 Diamond Art Clubs. I don't know how many you have, but you might have 100 Diamond Art Clubs. And I'm gonna grab another color. Where's that color? All right, this is weird. I can't find the color. Where are you? Come, move a little. found it. That was a struggle. Oh my gosh. Let me pour these in. Shake, shake, shake. You get your nice neat lines in your tray. Definitely do help with multi-placing. And then let's see how quick I can do this color. So you can see this color goes from here all the way over to here. Let's in just a little bit more on it. I want it to be in frame. There we go. I think that's as close as I can zoom. All right, and let's see how quick I can do this section. So we will start as soon as it rolls over to 26 minutes, so I can have a full even minute to start with. 56, 7, 8, 9, and there we go. And let's go. Let's see how quick I can do this. Struggling with this. Let's switch to a different. There we go. I just put those in too, you know? Okay. 3 minutes and 48 seconds. It went from 26 to 29:48. So 3 minutes And 48 seconds for me to do that one color. Was it for that color, right? Yeah, that was it. Okay, move on to A, and we'll just continue talking about multi-placing just a little bit more. I'm gonna zoom out just a scooch. There we go, and find A. Okay, so why I like multi-placing, because now I've showed you multi-placing, I've given you an idea of it. Why I like multi-placing also, for straightening out your drills, I find it's easier to just kind of shake straight and then tilt slowly back and let them just slide. Sometimes you can give a little tap with your finger too, and just see them just fall into place. Easy peasy. So, why I like multi-placing. I have a lot of canvases in my stash, and I have a lot of large canvases in my stash. And Diamond Art Clubs do have, you know, good sections with a good amount of multi-placing ability in them. There are some that are completely confetti. I am not a fan of confetti. I do like to have some color blocking. A canvas that's all confetti would stress me out. I like to have, I messed up a little there. Okay. I do like to have just a little bit of color blocking. I like to be able to do just a little bit of switching out to a multi-placer and working through a section pretty easily. I've obviously been doing this for a while. I started multi-placing in, I want to say 2023, so that's at least 3 years of multi-placing. And I did start with a 4-placer because I felt intimidated by those large multi-placers. Like, let's see, one of these I think should be like a 15. Right, no, I guess that is the largest I have. A 14 maybe? Okay, I guess that was something, I don't remember what that was. So I guess this is the largest. This actually is a 9, and I haven't done, it does go up to 14. I've seen 14. I haven't used a 9. I don't think I have any reason to use a 9 in this section. But there's not a reason. I haven't used anything bigger than a 7. I'm comfortable with a 4 and a 5, and I'm doing okay with a 7. But I felt intimidated. I honestly felt intimidated. And I will be honest as well. When I first started multi-placing, it was a mess. There was not these nice, neat, even, clean lines that I'm, you know, starting to get now. And I struggled. I definitely struggled with it. And it was a struggle. But the reason I started multi-placing was I was working on a large canvas. And this large canvas was primarily one color around the whole outside of the canvas. And I was single placing that. So I was do. And after a while, I was coming up with little tricks. So I would single place. I'd be like, gosh, would you just stick to the freaking pen a little bit more here? I would be making like, okay, I'll do this square right here, and we'll fill it in now. Oh god, I haven't single placed in so long, this feels weird. I mean, like, other than doing the 1 or 2 here and there, it feels so weird. And then, all right, I'm gonna do this square, and we'll just keep going around the circle in this square, and I had to like come up with little brain games for myself to get through the sections. And then I saw a somebody was multi-placing, and she was talking about how she had just started multi-placing and how she needed to practice her multi-placing. And I was like, well, what better canvas to learn how to multi-place and practice multi-placing on than this canvas with primarily one color running around the outside. And it was, you know, it was pretty good. It was like this whole section size of this one color all the way around the outside of a canvas that was, what are you, 75 by 80? No, 75 by 90, I think. They're not small. So it was a large canvas with primarily one color running around the outside, and it was just a lot. It was a lot. So I taught myself to multi-place. I learned to multi-place, and now I've learned, you know, little tips to go along with the multi-placing. All right, I'm struggling with it staying in the single placer, and they don't want to come out of the multi-place, although I've been honestly struggling a little bit with sticky issues on this canvas, so it's not, might not be the pen, it might actually be the canvas. But and now I multi-place so much it feels weird not to multi-place, but I want to finish these canvases. I want to enjoy them once they're done. I want to see them hanging on my walls or in my portfolio or whatever I choose to do with them, because that's what I bought them for. I bought them to be enjoyed. I picked these images because they were images I wanted to do and I want to enjoy them, but I have far too many oh my gosh, I'm gonna give up on that color. I can never find it. Just can't find it. I don't know why. I'm struggling to find that one. It's one spot I missed. Struggling to find it. But yeah, it would take a while. It would take whole months just to finish a canvas. And now I can finish a canvas this size in a month. Still enjoy the process. Like, I'm still enjoying myself. And I'm not saying that you have to multi-place. I'm just saying that I know a lot of us have big stashes. And you want to also enjoy looking at the canvases you bought. And not have them sitting in their Diamond Art Club box collecting dust in the box. I mean, they're not actually getting dusty in the box, but the box itself is getting dusty. Is what I mean. So that was why I started multi-placing. One, I could get done more canvases in a year, and I still enjoy the process. I don't have any unenjoyment from doing it this way or single placing the whole way. Like, if anything, I feel like it's a little bit more enjoyable because I'm getting the sections done a little faster. I get that sense of accomplishment a little bit quicker because I've accomplished a section and I can move on to the next one. I mean, I do have to play mind games with myself to work on some canvases. Hi, Cookie. Or I just enjoy the canvas. So the more confetti there is on a canvas, the more I kind of have to play a little bit of a game with my mind to work on it. The more color blocking there is for me, the easier it is for me to want to work on that canvas and enjoy it. I don't want it to be all color blocking though. I'm gonna come right out and say that one because I don't want you to think I'm a crazy nut who's like, yeah, I just want to do a canvas that's all one color. No, I don't want that. That's silly. But I do want to be able to enjoy the process. So I would say the easiest way to get into multi-placing is to just do it. Grab yourself a 4, a 3, whatever you have, whatever you want to feel comfortable trying, and just start doing it. It'll probably be a mess, and it'll probably be a struggle, because it was for me. But the easiest way to do it is to just do it, and don't let it intimidate you, because it intimidated me. So I'm sure it intimidates others as well to look at this tip that holds multiple drills on it and think, ooh, I got too many there. And think, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. That's a lot of drills to be placing down on the canvas at one time. But here we are, 41 minutes in, and I'm already almost done with this section. Now, this is a fairly small section. I would normally do a larger section than this. But it's still 41 minutes in, and it's almost done with a section. So I try not to spend an entire day diamond painting, because there are so many other things that we have in our days that we need to do. Laundry, dishes, feed cats. We have cats. I have tons of cats. I have 7 of them. Here's one right here. Let me see if I can get her paw in there. There we go. She's gonna diamond paint. We'll give her a pen. She can diamond paint. Here you go, Cookie. There we go. She's not gonna diamond paint. It's Cookie. She's my girl. So that's really the only trick to it, is to just do it. Lining up in your tray, definitely gonna make it easier. And then you'll be able to see when you go to put it down that it's, you just line it right up into that spot and find a spot to put this. There we go. Put it on the canvas. It's good to go. And I know when I was first doing it, I would miss on this, so I'd get like the edge of the drills, and then we didn't get any, or you'd get like 1 or 2 drills, and you're like, but I wanted all 4. That's okay. Pick up 2, do a 2 section. Pick up 1, whoops, do 1. That went wonky. I have a cat on my shoulders right now, so this is a little awkward all of a sudden. I don't know why. Cookie, why? There, she got down. She likes to be on my shoulders. She's kind of funny. Where are you? There you go. Go to my other hand. Come over here. And then, like I said, if you have issues where you need to play with something, look, all of my trays come with this, and you can play with that in your other hand while you're working. Spin it around, move it. Let's see if this is possible. So this pen right here with the dragon going around it, I would love to turn this into a fidget. I am not that talented on working with 3D models as of yet, but I'm gonna try to learn so I can turn this into a fidget, so you can spin this on the pen, because I think that would be so fun. I don't know why. I looked at it and I was like, this would be perfect for that if I could figure out how to do that. But my knowledge of 3D modeling is really limited. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to learn 3D modeling. I learn something new every time, but it's hard for me, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try. And if I accomplish it, it will exist. And that would be so fun. I've seen those pens where they they create the fidget on the pens, so you can fidget with the pens. But yeah, I think that would be fun. I just saw that and I was like, that would be a fun little fidget pen idea if I could figure out how to do it. So I have to work on it. I have to have the time, the brain energy to work on it. But anyway, that is it for this video, I think. Just multi-placing. It's really not too complicated. It's scary and intimidating, but it's really not too complicated. And it's not anything you have to do. If you are comfortable single placing, then single place. You do what you are comfortable doing, but if you wanted to learn to multi-place, I do hope that this helped you out with it. If not, let me know where I messed up. But that is what I do. That is how I learned to multi-place. I just kind of jumped feet first into the water and started multi-placing. And that really is kind of the best way to do it, but it's no real tutorial for it. You can't really say, okay, step 1, shake your drills. Step 2, pick up your drills. Step 3, put them on canvas. That's really all it is. You know, shake your drills, get your nice line, pick up your drills when your putty is behaving itself, and then put it on canvas. And that is it. So I hope you've enjoyed. That is multi-placing in a nutshell. I don't actually need this color anymore, so I'm just gonna knock it right off there. And I really have nothing else. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.